Ahoy out there. Burn or heal is the question of today's sketch. We have our young wizard girl again. She had a near-death experience after her encounter with an inquisitor and was healed by a Shallya Priest. I hope we have not played this, but we had a break just when the Shallya Priest began her work. We will see in 2 days what happens, I think. But I imagine that the young wizard, Ira is her name by the way, will have to be infused with a quite great amount of healing power to get saved. And I just imagine that Shalya's great powers will mix or mingle or collide just head on with the wizard girl's power of the Akshi fire wind of magic. And I thought I'd like to sketch her in this way with the fire in her one hand and the pigeon as a sign of Shallya in the other hand. And maybe it's a turning point in her career. Maybe she'll refrain a bit from her quite destructive, impulsive path with the fire, which has not always led to prime situations. Fire is just loud and explosive. It's either on or off. There is not much in between. And either on or off, 0 or 100% is not always the best way to take on the different situations or encounters we have in the story. So this wizard girl is quite infamous inside of her group or party, which consists of very dear friends, but still there's a lot of head shaking or eye rolling involved. Well, I guess it's how it's supposed to be with wizards and fire wizards especially. I'm just sketching a few more noses and mouths because I wanted to substitute the one I sketched originally. Again, I did only a quite rough sketch with pencil and tried to flash things out on the fly with ink. I'm through this now. Erasing the pencil. And off we go to scanning and gimping. Cleaning the canvas from stuff. And now fixing the nose. Copying one of my new versions into her face. Also, I found the neck is too long. So I repositioned the head. And did some more minor corrections to the neck portion, adding some chains downstairs. And thus we start with background. At this time I realize I'd like to resize the canvas. And reposition the wizard in there. I had no real clue what to do with the background. I just started to make those color things and was curious what I will come up with on the way. Defining the foreground, the figure of the wizard girl. If I had another drawing style with my lines, I could select the figure automatically using a wand or some other automated tool. But I just do it like this usually, painting it by hand, filling it by hand. For automation I have much too many holes in my lines, I think. Starting to put in shades. The campaign we are playing is the Path of the Damned. It's an old campaign. I think it's there since the first edition, or maybe the second. Never played it. And with this group we are on it for nearly 3 years. We started with a soldier, a witch hunter, this wizard, fire wizard, and I think a road warden. The witch hunter has died in a battle, which was also because the player wanted to have a break. And the player wanted to have a dramatic exit. So he sacrificed himself in a battle against Beastmen to save the others. And the rest continued their way to Middenheim and later Altdorf. Somewhere along I found that the Fire Wizard was a bit difficult or frustrating to play because in this 4th edition rules they have a hard time getting out their spells and make a difference. It was neither fun to play nor effective or cool for the story when you're lurking in the background, trying to get your spells channeled and done, and then the fight's over. So we decided to give that wizard a break, put her aside for some time. In the story, she got trapped in the legendary weapon we used to fight this demonic entity. And forth came her aunt, a knight of the blazing sun, from Estalia as well. And she was quite a cool character, quite effective, with her battle horse and her armor quite tanky. Also very nice to play. I wanted to go with her and at some point later decide whether to bring the wizard back or not. But that we did. We brought the wizard back and exchanged the characters again in a appropriate dramatic fashion. And here we are, Fire Wizard for the last chapter. In the meantime, in the drawing, I fleshed out the background, put in those fire thingies flying around. And needed a few tries to put in their reflections on the ground. I think this is my final try for this. Just a small detail. And that's it. Another small piece for Era, the Fire Wizard. Thinking about to follow a less destructive power here. Maybe. I'm very curious how this will work out at the end. Thanks for watching and see you next time.